Welcome to the Jameson Files. I'm your host, Carrie Weber, and we are so excited to be presenting to you this episode live from the AACD annual meeting in Grapevine, Texas. So I am very excited in this episode that we are with a client of Jameson.
Yeah.
I don't even know how long. You might have to tell me. Dr. Angela Ferrari of Long Island, New York. So, Dr. Ferrari, thank you so much.
Oh, it's such a pleasure being here.
And I feel like we are like these kindred spirits that are just so happy to be together. And I'm so thrilled that you said yes to being on this episode, because I feel like there's probably a lot of pieces of your dental story and your dental practice that is going to resonate very deeply with listeners or viewers of the podcast. And so what I'd love to do to start is I'd love for you to just share a little bit about your dental story. You know, what has led you into dentistry, where you find yourself today, and then let's go from there. Would that be all right?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I just love you. Thank you so much for having me here. This is just, what an honor. Thank you so much. All right. So my story. So I figured out that I wanted to be a dentist when I was in high school. And actually, my own dentist, Dr. Donald Kahn, became my partner, but that's like kind of getting ahead of ourselves. I shadowed him as a high school student, and it was one of those like Oprah aha moments where, you know, I was like interested in science, I was interested maybe in medicine, but didn't quite fit the bill. I shadowed for a summer, and I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I want to do. The patient care, how he was with his patients, the work he was doing, working with his hands, the artistry. It was just like, this is for me. So then from that point on, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And it was just like eyes on the prize, focus all the way to the end.
Wow. I love that. And today you find yourself, you have quite a significant practice. You all have really built something pretty wonderful. Share a little bit about what the practice is today, your size and what you focus on, and really maybe the energy that your practice is for you.
Well, I guess I just want to start from that history. When I graduated dental school, I had gone to Donald's and I was like, I'm done. Do you have a place for me? And he's like, come on in. So anyway, we started working together, and I was like, oh, no, I have one more person to bring into the group. And it was my husband, who I met in dental school. So Dr. Aldiri and I were like a pair, and
who is in the wings as we speak right here. So I feel like you need to lean in and wave. It's come into the shot, come in the camera. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, so our practice became a real family. So Donald was definitely a mentor to us, and we were partners back in 2000. Well, we joined in 2001. I joined in 2001.
Wow.
We became partners in 2005. So it was all history after that.
Yeah.
And it was the three of us. Donald actually introduced us to Jameson. And I have to say that was, I want to say 2003. So it's been a really long time.
Yes.
That we've had Jameson to sort of help us grow as providers.
And we continue to work with you. You still have Kathy in our practice.
And it became the fabric of how we work.
Wow.
I guess it really resonated with us with how we want to practice, like methodology and, you know, being there for your patient, not only, you know, with your skills and your clinical excellence, but how you treat people and how you treat your team. You know, your team is everything. And I feel like that is what Jameson brought to us, and that's why we continuously have Jameson back, because it just like refreshes us and just fills the bucket. Yeah. It's awesome. And our team is special to us, and I feel that that's what makes us excellent providers to help bring this excellence to our patients.
Wow.
So yeah.
I love that. And, you know, something that we had talked about before we started this episode was about your team and how you all have been very committed, and not just with Jameson, but in overall development, training, education. That seems to me, as a person watching you, that's been a big priority for you all over time. Share a little bit about the decisions that you all make as business partners, as the leaders of the practice, of how you choose to do that and invest in your team, and what you get back from that, from the team, in terms of performance or commitment or the culture of the practice.
You know, our team, we are so proud of how highly trained they are. and they bring an energy that makes them easy to train, and we want to share knowledge with them. It's so important to have them be on the same page as us.
Yes.
I always say I cannot do what I do without my assistants, without my entire team, my front desk team, my office manager. I mean, everyone. They are amazing. And really, it's not just about you, the doctor. It's about how every interaction that your patient has, from the minute they get that phone call, from the minute at the desk when they're welcomed, to being brought back into the chair. And then, I'm like the 10th person they see.
Absolutely.
So that experience, I want my patients to have like a stellar experience. And that's all from my team. And I think going through continuing ed is what helps them grow. They want to provide that. My team wants to give that. And I'm happy to help them get there, and it just helps everyone. So it's very, very important for us to stay up on their education, just like here at AACD. And this is what we're super excited to be here, learning new techniques. My assistant already texted me. She's like, what are you buying? What are you bringing home? I want to get trained. Like, tell me everything. And, and that's awesome. I love hearing that. And I don't just work with one assistant. I have a team of 7 assistants. And we rotate through, so everyone has a chance to work with every provider and get a feel for what we're doing. So it's a real integrated team.
I love that. And it's obvious that you have instilled into the culture of your practice that genuine curiosity and passionate enthusiasm for continuously developing and learning, and that your team is wanting to know, what are you bringing back? Like, what are you learning or doing? What's the new thing we're going to be working on? Instead of the mindset of, oh boy, here they go again, right? But instead there's this passionate enthusiasm for what you all continuously do and work on. I love that so much. And I love what you were saying about how each member of the team, because we believe this, but how each member of the team is such a key component to the patient's relationship to you, with you, their relationship to their own dental health and that journey. You're building those building blocks of value and trust with every interaction before they've ever even set eyes on you.
Yes.
And so I just want to reiterate how much I love what you share about that and your mindset on that, because it's so true.
I just feel like it's an interesting time in dentistry.
Yes.
As far as a private practice goes. And, staying private and not changing that. And what sets you apart from all these other offices that are popping up, corporate offices all down the street?
Right.
And I just think it's an experience. The patient, they know that. They feel it. They tell us. They tell my assistants. They tell my team. I love hearing that. But honestly, that's what I think is the future. There will be corporate dentistry, but I think that we still have a niche. There are patients that still value the kind of service we want to give, the personalized service that I know you, Carrie, and you're coming in to see me today, and my time is devoted to you.
Yeah.
Only you for that time period. I'm not going to be pulled in 85 different directions seeing different people. I'm here for you, and I only hope that continues, that people still value that.
Yes.
But I know it's what we value, and we're staying strong. So
and that all 3 of you. Now, obviously, you also have the 3 of you have had a very unique relationship in every way, but that you are aligned in that, and that you are that united front for your team to say, this is important to us.
Yes.
And also that you recognize and pursue that there is a place for your practice, even in the changing environment and the changing tides of our profession, but that it takes effort. It takes intentional effort to carve that place out for yourself, but that it exists because there are patients, I bet, that are coming to you every single day because they know your names, they know your reputation, you're known in your area and community, and you worked hard for that to be the case.
I mean, I definitely think that it's never ending. It's constant. It's also staying up with the changes that are happening, like getting your name out there. In the years past, you'd put an ad out in the paper.
Yes.
And then there was a period of time where I did radio, and I was on radio, and that was like a period. Nobody listens to the radio anymore. Their iPod or whatever. They're not listening to that anymore. So how do you catch people's attention? How do you, become relevant to them. Social media, I'm not a dancing dentist. I'm not going to be TikTok dancing. So don't look for me. No, okay. But, like, how do you stay relevant to your patients on a social media platform, which is where people are getting a lot of critical information, and a lot of it isn't correct. So, with the team helping with that, like, my team is awesome. They will say, Dr. Ferrari, you need to be on this and this and this, and we're going to, like, it's a group effort, and their ideas I value. Like, we want to stay current with what's happening, and that's what's kept us still. The people know who we are.
Yes. And do you find when you're bringing on a new team, or you're bringing on, what is that process for you in terms of bringing them up to speed, in terms of understanding those important pillars that you've built within your practice that has led you to be successful? How do you bring them up to speed in that way?
Well, I think it's definitely, again, currently it's been a challenge.
Yeah.
Finding team has been a very big challenge. And I think that as a profession, we need to, educate the general public on how important these auxiliary jobs are. Yeah. They're not just, and I said auxiliary, which is, I guess, just a term, but they are careers.
Yes.
I consider my dental assistants career dental professionals.
Yes.
I have trained them to be that, and that's how I value them. I hope to share with young students who are maybe not looking to consider, secondary education, but are looking to get into a field that has growth, that has training, that has commitment and caring and, like, loyalty.
Yes.
I'm loyal to my team, and they're loyal to me, and I want to cultivate that in a new generation of students.
I love that.
It's hard to find. I feel like we're in a period of shaky ground, so it has been hard. When I do find a team member or a potential team member, I think who they are as a person is the most important thing. I can train you to work with me, and I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah.
Like, I really want them to have that passion for helping the patient first, and being there with, just that feeling of how can I help you?
Yes.
And I don't think you can train that. I think that's just finding that right person.
Yes.
Which is hard, but I think we find them.
It's the philosophy of seek out the potential, seek out the person that you see the opportunity that they could be great in that role. But also that you said, like, I can train you, like, to understand that key piece is the key, right? That I'm going to take the time to train you if you are coachable.
Exactly. But I also want to express, I guess, to young students, like, that this is a career worth having.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's sort of like, I don't know, under the radar, And I think as a dental profession, we need to really stress how important our team members are.
Yes.
They are professionals in their own right, and we've made them that way.
Absolutely.
And to treat them as such.
Absolutely.
I just hope that we can get that word out.
Yes. And, to circle it back around to the culture of your practice, because you work so closely with Kathy Jameson, what she says is that a great team is a group of leaders working cohesively toward a common set of goals. And so when you make room in whatever business that you own or lead, dentistry obviously is our world. But it really holds true in any profession, is that if you make room and you build value and help instill a sense of value in your team members, that each and every one of them is a pivotal position in the practice, and that you're going to make room for them to grow, to develop, to thrive, to have opportunities to do different things. I mean, that's very powerful. A lot of the employment engagement surveys, that have a place where you can indeed develop and contribute in new ways over time, is a really big key factor for employee engagement. So for you to be making room for that and to have that much passion for that, I think speaks volumes of the promise of your practice. It's going to be great.
But I have to say, I think that Kathy was an integral part in making us young dentists understand that concept.
Yes.
And it just really resonated with my husband and I, and we embraced it. Yeah. And I feel like that message, that's why we keep coming back to Jameson. There are so many other, groups, but not with that message. And people feel the difference in our practice.
Oh, I love that.
They really do, and I mean that. And it's not just because you were here. Like, I really feel if you're considering Jameson, it is worthwhile. It is worth the investment. And what we have received as a practice of the training that Kathy and Jameson has provided us has been monumental in how we are today as a practice. So I just have to thank you.
And that's why we do what we do. And that means so much. And I know if Kathy were sitting here, she's going to watch this and she's going to like give her a big hug. Cry. It's going to be amazing.
A big fever hug.
Yes, yes. So, so amazing. It has been beyond a privilege to us that we've been on this journey with you all of these years. And it makes us very proud to be a part of your journey, and wishing you so much success and giving you so much gratitude for being with us today on the Jameson Files, and for the relationship that we've had over the years. So
I appreciate you.
Dr. Ferrari, thank you so much for your time, and thanks to all of you that are tuning in and listening or watching. There are great things. The future is bright for dentistry, and we all, as part of the profession, need to be reminded of that and to help others see that there is a great place for all of us in every role in a dental practice to thrive in our professional lives. And this person that is with us today is a perfect example of that. So thank you. And thanks to all of you. Be well, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Jameson Files. Visit us online at jmsn.com. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Google Play Music, or Spotify. See you next time.